Hey everyone, welcome to Ajay and Nathan Discuss Movies, a show in which we discuss movies both old and new. Today we have a relatively old movie, not that old,
from the past,
but it is a blast from the past. We didn't have enough time to watch Wicked because everyone and their mother is watching Wicked.
Oh yeah.
Okay, Joe. We're going to take a debate. We're going to take a poll here. But what if you want to sing? Can they do like a special screening where everyone's going to sing?
So a reminder, this is a product of our sister company, NBC Universal, and they say there will be special sing-along screenings about a month from now, starting Christmas, 1,000 theaters nationwide. More details to come. So I say until then,
And
those theaters are Thunderdomes right now.
yeah, I had time to watch Wicked, but some people didn't have enough time to watch Wicked. So we will not be discussing Wicked today,
Wow.
and we will not be banking on good views for this episode. It's safe to say this is an episode that probably won't elicit.
This one will disappear.
Yeah, this will disappear.
This one is gonna get lost on your hard drive.
Yeah, it's gonna get lost on my hard drive.
It's gonna get corrupted.
It's gonna get corrupted. And what is that movie, Nathan?
Oz, the Great and Powerful, directed by Sam Raimi and starring America's sweetheart, James Franco.
Oh, no one loves Sam Raimi. He's a great director! Did you see Crime Wave? Yeah. I saw that movie on an airplane and people still walked out.
James Franco, because as we all know, he is a man who is very innocent and pure.
Sure. Yeah. He's over in Italy right now.
Yeah.
Just hanging out, just on vacation.
Just on vacation, just doing his thing, talking in Italian broken English.
Yeah.
Or English with an Italian accent.
He's finally fully transformed into Tommy Wiseau.
He has. How could you tear us apart, Lisa?
Bibbidi-boppity, you like a chicken, Donnie.
Yeah. Anyways, this is Sam Raimi. This is the most films we've ever discussed by a director on our channel.
Are you saying that Sam Raimi has eclipsed Shyamalan?
He has eclipsed Shyamalan, yes. I'm
That
saying
is
that.
shocking.
Yes.
That's shocking.
So
for
Sam
us.
Raimi, which obviously I think we can both agree that he is the deserving director to have been the most discussed director on our channel.
He's a fantastic. Everyone loves Sam Raimi. I think. I at least hope they do. He's a fantastic director.
Yeah.
Just like even when he puts out stuff that is not so great, it's still always very interesting at the very least.
Absolutely. But we're getting ahead of ourselves, Nathan.
Yes,
what is
yes.
the movie about?
Yes, Oz, the Great and Powerful follows a sideshow magician named Oscar, who calls himself the Great and Powerful. He is swept up in a twister in his hot air balloon, and he is transported to the magical, mystical land of Oz, where he is believed to be this great wizard of prophecy. And so, being a opportunistic charlatan that he is, he sees this as a chance to get rich quick, and he meets a bunch of interesting characters in Oz, shows them his quote-unquote magic, and attempts to be their wizard.
And we decided to watch this movie based off of your suggestion.
Yes, yeah, I guess it just felt right, just like, if I can't see Wicked, might as well do something that's still Wizard of Oz adjacent, and I've never seen this movie before, and I've kind of been interested. It's got everything we love. Sam Raimi, James Franco,
Zach Braff.
Zach Braff.
Mind, I wanted to hit him. I'm not gonna hit him. I watched you little.
I didn't.
I saw you with the can in your hand, you little.
Anyway.
Look, I saw the whole thing go down. I got these two. Oh my!
I got punked.
We were going to discuss Garden State on the channel, but we decided not to. But maybe eventually we'll discuss Garden State.
We can discuss Garden State, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So we decided to watch it on your suggestion. And how did he feel about this movie, Nathan?
It's an interesting movie. It's not amazing. It is not terrible. It's somewhere kind of in the middle. There's some interesting ideas, I think, in the movie. I like the idea of a sideshow magician entering like a magical realm and then just kind of doing his trash magic tricks to like stun the populace. I think that's a fun idea that the movie kind of plays with, but I think it gets bogged down with a very standard like plot about like the prophecy, you're the great wizard of prophecy. I think James Franco isn't great in the role. I would have wanted someone else, someone with a bit more charisma, but overall, I think, because it's Sam Raimi, there's enough interesting and fun ideas and tricks that kind of keep up the momentum.
Yeah, I feel very similar to you in that regard, in which I didn't hate the movie. I also didn't love the movie. I thought it was somewhere in the middle. Yeah. I thought it was okay. It was meh. Things that I enjoyed about this movie is that I really liked the cinematography.
Oh, yeah.
I really enjoyed the change of the aspect ratio when it went from black and white to color.
Oh.
I thought that was a beautiful, well done, well executed.
Yeah.
But there were issues that I had with the movie. Some of them were the character motivations. I
Yes.
felt as if Mila Kunis's character on a dime just switches from like pure, innocent, good-hearted to just like this evil, wicked individual, which I understand why, like if you understand like the comics, or just like not the comics, but if you understand different Sam Raimi movie, but if you understand like the source material, you understand why. But I just felt it was hastily done.
Yeah,
in a lot of ways,
felt very quick on the dime.
Yes, and I felt like the twist, which happened like in the middle of the movie, where like you see Rachel Weisz's character. What's her name? Evanora?
Evanora.
Where she just completely switches on a dime to being like the heel. I felt like that was a little ill-advised and ill-prepared. Having said all that, a lot of people hate on James Franco for his acting in this movie. I don't think he's bad in this movie. I think what he's given is not that great. And I feel like if you put anyone in that situation, they also would not have had a good role as well.
Sorry, I thought you were done whistling. I heard a pause there, Sam. Sorry, buddy.
I have to whistle, not him.
I mean, if Tobey Maguire was in this movie, I think it would still result in the same movie. I don't think it would have changed. And again, I like James Franco. I think he's a good actor. In terms of acting, I think him in 127 Hours was a really good performance. Spring Breakers was a really good movie. It's weird how like this was the movie that he followed Spring Breakers up with.
Really?
Yeah. This was in a very weird time and culture where James Franco's movie Spring Breakers were released in 2012, I'd say. And that was directed by Hart, really good movie. And then the year afterwards was this movie. It was Oz the Great and Powerful. And then I assume he had some William Faulkner adaptations in there as well. Some really bad William Faulkner
attempting
movies.
to make more Cormac McCarthy movies.
Yeah.
Ugh.
But this was a very weird time in Franco's life because this was also during the time of The Interview with Seth Rogen. That was 2014, but still.
So 3 years
of just like craziness from this guy.
Jesus Christ.
Which I admire and appreciate. I think it's pretty funny to think about it in retrospect. But overall, I enjoyed it. I thought the talking monkey played by Zach Braff was hilarious.
He was.
This is what Jar Jar Binks should have been.
You can have a nice pile of bananas, all right?
Bananas. Oh, I see. Because I'm a monkey, I must love bananas, right? That is a vicious stereotype.
You like bananas?
Of course I love bananas. I'm a monkey. Don't be ridiculous. I just don't like you saying it.
It is. I do think it is kind of very quaint and kind of cute how it does the original Wizard of Oz thing. Like the characters he meets in the mystical realm of Oz are people from his life back in Kansas. Zach Braff as the monkey was his assistant. The little like China doll girl was the little girl in the wheelchair at his show. Michelle Williams, his love interest. There is still his love interest in Oz. Those are nice little touches that I think are fun. I think are good with the world. I think Sam Raimi has a lot of fun with being in the world of Oz because it's a fantasy world, but it's also like weird and like off-putting and kind of creepy. And I think that's fully within Sam Raimi's wheelhouse. Like every time like the Wicked Witch or like anything like shows up, he's basically doing just like, oh, I can Evil Dead this. The movie I noticed is basically him remaking Army of Darkness.
Yeah.
Because you have a character who is out of time in a different realm, and they kind of use their modern knowledge to win over the population. The only difference is James Franco at no time gets a double-barreled shotgun.
Yeah.
Bruce Campbell does show up, though.
He does show up, and it's pretty funny when the monkey's just like hitting him.
He just gets whacked with a stick, yeah.
But there are a lot of like Sam Raimi isms in this movie. Like, there are a lot of fades and transitions. There's one scene in particular that's very similar to how Doc Ock gets its powers, essentially.
Oh, is that the Wicked Witch?
I think so. Yeah. Well, yeah. It was around like the 57-minute mark of the movie.
Yeah.
Which I really enjoyed. So I mean, there are a lot of shorts that harken back to like what we've come to expect from Sam Raimi, especially with the fades and transitions as well. And even that opening montage of just like the credits rolling.
Oh god,
was very similar to like what you'd see from like the original Spider-Man trilogy.
I miss a nice opening credits montage. They just don't do those anymore, I don't think, which is sad because I like the one in this one where it's like, you know, it looks like it's at a crappy little like Dust Bowl carnival, and it adds a lot. I also kind of like the music in the movie. It's like the proper amount of whimsy. I think it sounded like Danny Elfman. Was it?
Yeah,
it was
Elfman,
Danny
yeah.
Elfman. Classic.
Yeah. So overall, I thought it was a fine movie for what it was. I assume that this is a movie that if you gave to a kid, they would just eat this up.
Oh yeah, this is very much a give the child loud noises and colors so it does not scream for an hour.
Yeah.
It's basically
it's basically that. But would you like recommend this movie to like a person who's like new to Sam Raimi? Like if let's say like you're a 21-year-old and you decide you haven't had the chance to sit with the Sam Raimi movie.
To sit with if this is the first Sam Raimi movie, I can't say I would recommend it as that. If I'm recommending like a first time like Sam Raimi movie, I'm doing Evil Dead or Spider-Man, Darkman.
Excuse me.
It mostly feels like a Sam Raimi movie, but then there are long stretches of it that just feel a little boring.
Do you think that this film suffered through studio interference, or do you think that Disney was at that point where they could just tell a director what to do?
I don't think it. I can't say yes or no because this is still like 2013 Disney, and like I don't know. I guess Wizard of Oz isn't really a giant like IP like a Marvel is, so I can't imagine they had their fingers in this. Like, no, we need a cameo from the Cowardly Lion. He's got to show up. Give him the Oz initiative. But like, there were moments that felt like because it felt like the movie was mostly a tech demo. Is a lot of what I was getting from this because like the world of Oz is like big CGI. It's like all these it's just things to look at, and a lot of it is that's James Franco on a blue screen, that's Michelle Williams on a blue screen, and they really just like have these big glorious pan shots.
Mila Kunis with a horrendous prosthetic nose.
Yes,
yeah.
Looking absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
And a lot of the movie felt like, is this movie like a tech demo? Is this like a live action Lion King where making the movie was like secondary and the primary was, hey, show our investors like how good our rendering is this year. It's gonna be the
yeah. So, I mean, yeah, overall, I mean, I like the dark humor in this movie. There's a lot of dark humor in this movie.
There is, and that is a lot of fun. Like when they go into the dark forest and there's just crows there shouting, "You'll die! God!" and they fly away.
Yeah.
Did those crows just say we were gonna die?
They did.
But overall, I mean, for what it was, I didn't hate watching this movie.
No.
It felt like a fine watch, but this is not a movie that I would personally recommend for a person that's never watched a Sam Raimi movie.
Yeah.
I would say it's definitely Spider-Man. The Spider-Man trilogy is definitely where I'd start.
Yeah, you start there, then you get into Evil Dead, then you get into everything else that he's directed.
Or you do Darkman, and then you get into Evil Dead.
Yeah, oh my god, what is it? Drag Me to Hell?
Drag Me to Hell, yeah.
He made a crime movie called, I think it's called A Simple Plan with Billy Bob Thornton, which is like, it's like so like, it's good, but it's like, oh, Sam Raimi directed this? That's insane. He's a very versatile director, and then he also did that one other superhero movie.
Yeah, we can't put a name to the face, but we know what it is.
We know,
and we don't want to give it any more
what it is
publicity than it needs.
It's not worth talking about.
It is Shang-Chi Into the Chinaverse. That's what it's called. But overall, I mean, I think in terms of like what this movie allowed is that it allowed people to enjoy like a very much sort of kid-friendly version of Sam Raimi. And I think with the limitations that he was given, I think he exceeded expectations.
I do too. I think, especially, I think this is like what, the second Disney movie he's done. I only just realized that the second one, it definitely feels like he was allowed to play around a lot more than he did after. In the next Disney movie, he did like allow more of his style to inject the film and its energy. I just think the plot was not very interesting. I don't expect, like, especially from like a kid's fantasy film, to have like an engrossing like story, but like something a little interesting. Because I mentioned I do like the idea of like he's a charlatan, he's a liar, he's a cheat who does these magic tricks that are all obviously phony, and he uses that to, you know, kind of like become this big figure in Oz. But then you add in just like, you're the great wizard of prophecy is lame. There's a scene where they're like building an army of munchkins. I like when they introduce the munchkins and they're like in giant coats and they look very tall. And I'm like, I know the joke that's coming and I hope they do it. They take off the coats and they're all just like standing on each other's shoulders. I died. I jumped out of my seat. I fell to my knees crying. I was like, yes, this is the joke I wanted.
How did he feel about James Franco as Zordon at the end of it?
James Franco as Zordon. You see, that's when it's like, I feel like you need a different actor with some gravitas, someone who's willing to get campy and cheesy with it. Because when he's like, I am Oz, it's like, this guy sounds like he's just like doing another joke in like Pineapple Express.
Yeah. Kick out the window, isn't that what they do? I don't know. How do you drive with one foot? I don't know. Oh, Mom! He's getting on his back. He's behind us. Our car's better.
At times of the movie, you're like, is this just like a bad SNL sketch? Like,
yeah.
It kind of feels like that, especially with that moment in particular where you're just like, I don't know if this is needed.
Yeah, no, that's the vibe I get from him in this movie, that he's treating it like it's an SNL sketch when everyone else is like pretty much committing to the camp and the cheese. Rachel Weisz is great when she's screaming at the baboons to fly. I'm just like, oh yeah, she understood the assignment. Michelle Williams is really good. Even Mila Kunis seems like she's having fun cackling around as the Wicked Witch. It's just him who kind of like sucks a little energy out of the movie.
Overall, I feel like the third act is where it kind of loses me, because we're kind of done with the fades and transitions and like what makes it a unique Sam Raimi watch. But with the third act of the movie, when you see Evanora, right, when her amulet gets ripped from her, she just turns into like this old woman.
Yeah,
which
she turns
we
into
need
a
to stop.
hag.
We need to stop the horror fixation of viewing old women as like monsters. Like, just because like a person who's 80 and ages naturally, that doesn't make them a monster. Like, what are we doing?
I mean, no, it doesn't. But
she looked like Demi Moore from The Substance at the end of it.
Oh yeah, the A24 horror cheat code of naked old people.
Yeah, yeah, basically.
I don't know. Old people scare me. I don't want to get old.
Yeah, that's true. But anyways, I mean, by that third act, you're just like, okay, this is. And then there are times where Evanora and Glinda, right, the green Mila Kunis character, where they're just stalling time. They're just stalling time to destroy Michelle Williams, and then all of a sudden something happens, and you're just like, why were you stalling for that long? I understand it's a movie. I understand that it's for kids.
Yeah.
But you're just like, I feel like even a kid would say, like, okay, like, you gotta, like
kill her.
Kill her, yeah.
Finish the job, because they, like, wave their hands, they, like, charge up their magical abilities. All I could think of when they're charging up their, like, lightning powers, I'm just like, oh yeah, Skyrim, I've played that. It's just my immediate thought, just like, you put all your points into magic. I get it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's a weird third act, because it just feels like noise at that point. Like, oh yeah, this really is gonna get little Billy to shut his mouth while mom cheats on dad.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah. But do you feel like that third act was missing something or anything?
I just feel as though the movie didn't have enough real build up to that, because a lot of it is insisting that there's this great thing that's going to happen. We are going to defeat the witches, and then it happens without much tension associated with it or much build-up associated with it. I think the first two acts, when he's in the land initially, just finding all this cool stuff, meeting all these fun characters, and then like I like the little montage where he's teaching the townsfolk how to like fight the witches, because again, it's ripped just directly from Army of Darkness. I find all that stuff fun, and then the third act is just like, it's just the ending. That's it. It's just like, oh, we're here now. Time for the movie to end.
Yeah. And don't get us wrong, like, the first two acts were very funny. Like, there's that moment in time, or that moment where James Franco is, like, in the middle of, like, this pool or lake. He's like, I can't swim. Somebody help me. I'm going to die. And then he just, like, stands up. And
he just flops because he's in, like, shin-high water.
Yeah.
The joke that got me the most is when you see a sign post where it's, like, Emerald City, Dark Forest, and then there's one that says Chinatown. And I was like,
damn, they got a Polanski reference in there
like,
for a kid's
what?
movie?
And then he goes to Chinatown and everything is made of China. I'm like, that's good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. You got me.
Yeah, I mean, he was able to subvert our humor, so that's pretty good for the movie.
It's funny. Sam Raimi's a funny man.
Sam Raimi's a funny good. So overall, wrapping up our thoughts.
Yeah. Okay, movie. Oh, if you see Wicked and you are still fiending for some Wizard of Oz, you know what? You can do worse.
Yeah. Yeah, it is weird how, like, we decided to not discuss a potential Academy Award nominated movie in exchange for this movie.
I'm sorry. I didn't have the time.
All right, no worries. I won't hold you to it.
All the theater kids sold out I noticed on AMC.com, like, when it shows a seat was sold out, they put, like, a little witch hat there.
Really?
I didn't understand what it meant. I just kept tapping on my phone to pick the seat. I'm like, why can't I have this?
Apparently there's a queue now for that movie if you go on the AMC app. I don't know if it works for A-list members like me, but I know that it definitely does.
Oh, I forgot. You're in a different tax bracket.
I'm an A-lister, dude. I'm an A-lister. You're talking to a certified A-lister.
I'm sorry, sir.
But overall, similar thoughts to you. I thought it was a fine watch. It was a decent watch. Will I ever watch this movie again? No. Having said all that, I don't think James Franco is the worst part in this movie. I don't. I'm sorry. People may disagree with that. Letterboxd may, hang me on at the stick for saying that, but I don't think he's the worst. I think that if you put anyone in this position, they would also give a very similar performance. I feel like the thing with this movie is that it was a Sam Raimi movie, but this movie would have been a bit better. And I like Sam Raimi. He's a great director. He's one of my favorite directors of all time. But this movie was for Tim Burton. Tim Burton would have done a lot better with his source material. And I think in order for it to be a little bit more campy, to get an actor that's a little bit more campy, that fits with that motif, with that style, it would have been better if Tim Burton was behind the realm for this movie. Having said all that, I do think that this movie is a decent watch. If you're a young person, 5 5 years old and you're watching us on YouTube, you may enjoy it. But I don't think for
if you're a 5-year-old watching this, go read a book.
Go read a book. Yeah.
Your generation is. Read a book, touch some grass, get off of TikTok, stop watching Mr. Beast. If your parents haven't hit you yet, I will. Stop watching Mr. Beast, you little piece of shit.
Yeah.
Go eat a lunchly, you
Life right now. What is this? What lunchly is that? What is that? Hot Tour podcast. What, my song Prime. Wow, this guy is living his best fucking life, man.
But yeah, those are my thoughts on the movie.
All right, sorry. Yeah, no, yeah, I agree. When you said Tim Burton, I was thinking watching this movie was making me think of the Tim Burton Alice in Wonderland, because everything is like so heavily like visual effects heavy, and then I see a person, it just gives big uncanny kind of valley vibes. Although with the Tim Burton Alice in Wonderland, that movie is just gross looking, and gray and desaturated, and the fact that I have seen it makes me wish I were dead.
Yeah. So overall, those are our thoughts.
Those are our
the
thoughts.
Movie.
Yeah.
And that's it for us. We don't know what movie we'll discuss next.
Maybe I'll see Wicked.
We won't discuss Wicked. I
We
feel
won't
like
discuss
I feel
Wicked?
like
We won't
that's the
discuss
one
Wicked?
movie. I don't think we should.
We shouldn't? Why?
I don't think we should. I think that movie has done enough press for what it has become. I think it might be better if we venture out.
Yeah.
You know,
not get locked in
to
trends.
Yeah, to trends or to the algorithm. I feel like it's good to break it up a bit.
Yeah.
You know? So maybe we'll watch Wicked. Probably we'll watch Wicked. I don't know. We might watch Wicked.
We'll both watch. He'll watch it again. I'll watch it for the first time, and then we'll just never discuss it.
Yeah, probably. So anyways, that's our time for today.
Yep.
Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Go read a book.
Go read a book.
We'll probably have some book recommendations down below us.
Yeah.
I recently read a book this past week, so we'll probably recommend a book.
Oh, nice.
We may start that.
Did you ever finish my copy of The Disaster Artist?
No, I'm still reading it.
You
I'm still reading. All right, I think that's it for us. Bye.
He's a great director! You ever see Crime Wave? Did you? Did you get it on DVD? Newsflash, you can't.